right, so Roger that. We're not coming at you from the great state of Michigan. We're actually here in Nevada. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada. And tonight we have with us who, Raj?
We got Billy Womack sitting here with us, the crypto node blockchain guru.
RogerThatLive. Roger that, we're out of here.
Coming out of you, Vegas.
Roger that, Roger that.
Go green, go white.
Roger that, Roger that.
The crypto node blockchain guru. And now this is stuff that we're going to talk about this evening that I'm going to be quite honest with you, all of us and everybody watching, is that we're all confused by this. So a lot of people, he's not confused at all. He's not confused at all. That's a fact. But there's a lot of confusion out there. There's a lot of people doing stuff out there. We all hear all this stuff. We hear about blockchain. We hear about nodes. We hear about crypto. We hear about
Bitcoin,
trading crypto. I mean, even just let's just go even further. That's stocks and bonds and cash and what are you supposed to do? The gold, the silver, all this stuff, right? So it's something that we all lay down at night. We want to take care of our families and do the right thing for them. And
today we're going to get some answers.
We're looking we are looking for answers.
Yeah,
I like that.
Raj.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I would start off by first just tell us a little bit about yourself, Billy.
Sure. So I live right here in sunny Las Vegas. Thank you guys, first of all, for having me.
Of course,
You're
of
welcome.
course.
Yeah. So we have mutual friends, and that's kind of how this all came about. But I'm from Tampa, Florida. Moved out to Vegas about 5 years ago. But I've done a little bit of everything. I've owned nightclubs, restaurants, sports marketing. I played college basketball. Matter of fact, I grew up, and I don't know if I showed you this earlier, with Derek Fisher from the Lakers.
Yeah, that was a cool picture.
Corliss Williamson from the Pistons. We all played.
We
on
need to
the
get
same
that
team.
picture.
We do.
So we can put it up on the
I'll send it to you.
podcast.
Yeah. So I played college basketball, blew out my knee, ended up going top secret clearance Air Force. So I worked for the F-117 stealth bombers from 93 to 97. So I've done a little bit of everything. I went from there to owning nightclubs. I went from there to being the number 2 salesman in the world for a Fortune 500 company, to owning nightclubs, doing Hugh Hefner's private parties for Playboy, which is kind of ironic that now Holly Madison and I work together. But for Playboy, I've got a lot of pro athletes I've worked with over the years that are all now clients of mine as well. But yeah, so I've got into being an entrepreneur, and about 11 years ago, I posted on social media, who do you know in blockchain and crypto? And everybody said, don't do it. It's a scam. Don't do it.
Especially back then.
Back then. And
right.
It was only Bitcoin at that time I got involved. Bitcoin was worth about $210. So
wow.
Yeah, and it was like, don't do it. And there was this one guy who said, I got a guy for you. I said, all right, let's meet this guy. And he goes, well, he's worth $100 million. I was like, you're full of shit. I don't know anybody worth $100 million.
$100 million.
Yeah. Now, ironically, I'm hitting that mark. But yeah, it's kind of crazy because I was like, I don't know anybody worth that kind of money. And very, very soon after, a couple weeks after that, I was in Reykjavik, Iceland, learning mining Bitcoin at $215. And so I got involved with him. For the next 13 months, I was traveling all over the world on his private jet, learning all the stuff that we've talked about and all the stuff that we're going to talk about today. And started making really good money. And, back then, when I lived in Tampa, I just jumped. I don't know if some of your viewers are like this or not, but I jumped from nightclubs, restaurants. I had about 15 things I was trying to find my way.
That's exactly him right there. Yeah.
But I tell people all the time, Major League Baseball, you only have to bat a 300. And if people don't understand baseball, you only have to hit three balls.
300 is really good.
Yeah. 3 out of 10 hits will get you $1 million contract. Well, 3 out of 10 in blockchain will make you multi-million-dollar contracts.
Exactly, yeah.
That's where I am. So I tell people all the time, keep swinging until you find the right team, the right partners, the right everything. And that's kind of where I was in life. I kept swinging for the fences, but I tried energy companies. I tried network marketing. I tried a little bit of everything. And I was like, man, I know there's more to life than living paycheck to paycheck out there. I've just got to find the right team. I've got to find the right industry, and trying to find all those at the same time That is that's the $1 million.
That's tough to do.
Yeah,
it's
that's
tough
tough.
to do. To find that team is tough to do. You talk about championship teams, it's tough to put that team together.
It is.
Right?
Yeah,
It
we were
is.
talking about that earlier.
You know, how does one guy open up, let's just say, like in our town, Little Caesars Pizza? Like all the pizza giants are from our town. Domino's, Little Caesars, Jets, all these pizzerias.
All from Detroit.
Off of one store.
Wow.
And how do you create a second store? How do you create a third store? It's with a team.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But this team that you're talking about is a team of people that are, by looking at some of the stuff, and you were talking about some numbers, they're 100 million, and you're talking about all these numbers, and a lot of people can't even grasp that. Like if you get, most of the time when you talk to somebody, and they're mad about someone, like you can say that somebody in the government can steal $1 million or $10 million, $100 million, and people don't get that mad. Now a neighbor kid comes over and steals a Christmas tree light off your bushes. They're ready to put the kid on the stakes and burn the kid alive, right? So with knowing that it's only like what, $10 for those lights.
Sure.
That's how pissed off people get.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you're talking about putting together a team on stuff where most people don't understand it. And most people I guess it's not like you can call and say, hey, I would like to get involved in this. How do you do it? Where do you find this team at? And well, from what I was looking at, and I know you heard some things early on, Roger, we're probably not supposed to talk about the money thing like that, but we're talking about you may have made over $400 million. Over $400 million. And I did ask him to wrap the RV before we started this whole thing. So now we put a little bit of pressure on him right there to give a little sponsorship there on the RV. But in all seriousness, that's hard for people to grasp because we're all working day by day, week by week, and that's just what happens. And when you get into your job, not to take this whole afternoon, but when you're working at your job and that job's covering your bills and you have family, it's tough because, man, you're scared to death to make a move because if you make that move, how are you going to feed your family? Because you're I don't want to use the word.
You like the security of having a paycheck. Yeah, right.
But you also have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired before that really happens. And a lot of people, when, I grew up with zero money. I don't come from any money whatsoever. Both my parents worked 2-3 jobs each. And I think at the max, they may have made maybe 50 grand combined working that many jobs. So I don't come from money. I've worked my ass off to become a star athlete, worked my ass off to win something called a Medallion Award in the military, and I was still broke. Yeah. Went into corporate America at 20, this is in 1997. I took my first real job after the Air Force, and I think I made $115,000 at 24. Back then, that was a lot of money. This is 1997. So I did pretty good, but that was my first taste of really making a little bit of money where I had extra at the end of the day.
Right.
And I think a lot of people are paycheck to, and I know a lot of people are paycheck to paycheck.
Paycheck to paycheck.
I work with a lot of people paycheck to paycheck. But, it just takes, you have to be around that type of person that's already making it and have a little bit of belief. Because at the end of the day, I went through some tough times. I know that you guys have. Everybody's out there went through some tough times. You know what all people really need at the end of the day? They need one thing, hope. They just need hope and belief that, God, one day life can change.
That's true.
But if you don't, you ever seen that meme where this little kid has a stuffed animal and God's saying, give me the stuffed animal.
Yeah,
he had one
yeah.
4 times bigger and behind him. You have to have a little bit of faith that the person that's working with you, there's so many gurus out there. I used to be able to charge people, when I say used to be able to, I still can. I used to charge people, not the average person, but people that come to me wanted to park $100,000, $500,000, $50,000. I'll charge them $10,000, $15,000 just to sit with me to have meetings. And I was making $100,000 a week doing that. But it got to the point where I didn't want people online thinking that's how I made my money. So I started forfeiting that and just started working with everybody without charging them a single penny just to work with them.
Right.
So to me,
that's an interesting transition because most people, even if you're making money charging them, and now you're going to make money charging them, and then they're going to make, because that's, well, let's just put it this way. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's not stocks and bonds, but a stockbroker, right? They're selling you stock, but they're making money. And they're selling you the stock, and they're making money. Yeah. And they're actually taking away your money, although they all say in their commercials as we're growing with you.
Right.
Right. Well, yeah, because they're taking your money.
Exactly.
No? I mean, really and truly. So that's not what you're saying is, hey, no, wait a minute. I've been through this. I've been through that. I've made a lot of money doing this. Now what I want to do is I want to teach people, show people, and help people. And that was a really interesting comment that you made to me at the fights the other night when we were standing. Oh, I'm sorry, after the fight. At the where were we at again?
The party.
We were at the Fountain Blue
at the
Power
Fountain
Slap
Blue.
after
Yeah.
party.
Yeah, I knew we were at the after party, but I was just trying to think
Fountain Blue. Yeah.
So we're at the Fountain Blue. We're talking, and you said that you would rather help people and help them gain the financial freedom, right, than charge people to do so and do good things in life and do good things and like expand people's wealth. But by expanding their wealth, you're expanding their lives. You're expanding maybe they can
knowledge.
help other people, your knowledge and everything. And I thought I was really intrigued by that. I thought,
Yeah.
wow. You know, we've been trying to study you too, right? Because we're all new to each other.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting when somebody says that.
Yep.
And that brought me to a belief. I was like, wow, that's interesting, man. It's a whole nother side to this.
Yeah.
There were other people in the room that evening that, you know, that do things or whatever. And we talked about that. And that was interesting because a lot of people tell people to buy things and do things. And,
Right.
and really they're just pushing the price up and selling.
Yeah.
But in this case, you're not doing that. You're not asking everybody to buy something. You're asking everybody, well, you're asking them to buy nodes.
I'm not asking them to buy. What I'm
No.
doing is educating them why they
Yes.
should buy software in a technology company, a tech company. So here, and let's dive into that a little bit, because when I got involved with blockchain, I didn't have a clue how it worked. And back then, the people
Yeah.
trying to educate me, I was buying these physical miners, and I should have brought it with me today to show you guys. It's called an S5 miner, and it's this tall, this wide, and you would plug it straight into the network, and that machine will confirm transactions on the blockchain. That's how Bitcoin is made. So you have this machine plugged into the network. Every
Gotcha.
time there's a transaction, every time someone buys Bitcoin, sells Bitcoin,
Yeah.
it will confirm those transactions. So some of you guys may have known how that works. So I did that, and I watched this guy, and he's worth $100+ million. I'm like, what the? I've been in the wrong industry. You know?
Yeah.
I tell people, imagine if you could have got involved in the internet. Now, I was in the Air Force when the internet was coming out, I believe. But imagine being one of the top guys in the internet when it came out, and having that information, knowing how to position yourself and your family to where you
Absolutely.
made tens and tens of millions of dollars. People made that all day long. People didn't think that was crazy. And people made that. Like hundreds of thousands of people made millions and millions of dollars.
They did.
When the internet. The blockchain is the internet 5.0. It's just the next level of doing it.
Right.
So when I got involved, I was around the people that were making that kind of money. I was like, I don't care how long it takes. You're not getting rid of me. I'm going to be right here beside you. Every time his jet took off, or whenever we would take a trip to Mexico and do a couple things, I'm like, I'm not leaving here. And I would just listen to him talk and talk. Finally, I started getting it, and I'm like, oh, wow. Then I couldn't sleep. Then I was like, this is insane. So 2 years later, he introduced me to his mentor up in Utah, and this guy was worth $400 million. So now I'm around those people making that kind of money, and now I'm not shell-shocked like, oh, this is not true. You see the lifestyle. You see the jets. You see
Right.
the homes. You're on the jets.
And you
with
start
them.
to see the vision of what you
Yeah.
could have.
And I never got into this to make the kind of money that I'm making now. I got
Right.
into this. I was like, man, if I ever make $10 million, I'm done. You know, that's
Set
that was,
for life.
Yeah, that was my
Right.
goal. And the very first project, I made 11 million. So I was like, shit, that was easy.
Let's talk about that for a second. You took $11,000
I did.
to $11 million
I did.
straight from buying nodes.
I did.
Let me
Explain
repeat that:
that and-
$11,000 to $11 million.
So
Yeah.
for every 1,000 I put in, I made over $1 million back. Correct. Now, I didn't buy a token. I don't trade crypto. I don't buy crypto. I simply buy the software that will make that will confirm transactions. As it confirms that transaction, think of us like the merchant processor, like a MasterCard.
Right.
Every time there's a transaction on our particular blockchain, here it is. You have a product, you have the money. And every time there's a transaction there, you need somebody to confirm that. Well, there's no people, so my software will confirm that transaction. And every time you buy or sell something, there's a fee attached to it. That fee came back to me and all the other node owners every day the rest of our life. As it got onto exchanges, and then you have the people out there buying crypto, trading. They
Right.
would start buying and trading it, and it would force the price of the token up. I just waited, sit back, and watch everybody do their thing.
Yeah.
I watched it. Within 6 months, it went from less than a penny to 84 cents. Had 17 million tokens. made 11.2 million. I cried. Now let's talk about why I got into.
Because I'm about ready to cry.
Well, real quick before we keep talking,
Yeah.
Can you give a quick definition of what blockchain is, a node is, and a token is for all people that don't know what that is?
Blockchain is a open ledger. Let's just say, matter of fact, if you go to Google and you type in blockchain Walmart, blockchain FedEx,
Yep.
blockchain Mercedes,
Right.
blockchain any major company, they're all building their companies on top of the blockchain. It's something that will, excuse me, it's something that is open ledger. There's also a blockchain that's centralized or decentralized.
Okay.
The decentralized part is where it's open source and everybody can see what's going on, and it's a trusted third party is what it really
Right.
is. Now the nodes are what confirm those transactions. It's what drives and puts the whole thing together. I wouldn't say it puts it together. It's what confirms all those transactions. So when you buy a software node, and different blockchains range for different prices on software nodes. So it can be $500 and it can be 10,000. And the last one, I watched the nodes I bought for $1,000 each go up to $100,000 each. So I got $11 million plus just in the nodes. Then I had over 12 million just in the tokens. So
Right.
really I made 22 million instead of 11. I didn't really think about that.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, what's an extra $11 million? I mean,
At
shit,
that
right?
point.
I mean,
So then what is a token? Explain that to
the
the viewers.
token is a form of currency.
Right.
But it's also something, it's not dictated on simply going on to an exchange. It's something that you can exchange for value. So with our there's blockchains, as I showed you guys before we got onto this, that I can take my tokens and I can buy real steak or hamburger meats or anything else. We've got different blockchains that you can do gold and precious metals. I've got blockchains where you can do a car share. There's blockchains that we're doing for travel. There's blockchains that we do with social media, which is the one we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
Is imagine if right now, and I'm going to kind of dive into this.
Go
side
ahead.
of it.
Yeah.
So imagine right now, every time you sign up or anybody signs up for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, any of those platforms, the second you terms and conditions, you say yes, they own your data. They own
Right. Yeah.
everything, and they can take that and monetize it any way that they want. Last year, Facebook made $117 billion
Insane.
off our information.
and he was at the fight next to Dana White.
Zuckerberg was
sorry,
there. At the
yeah.
fight,
He was sitting right there.
And his yachts and stuff, but I didn't get a royalty check, did you?
No, I didn't.
Absolutely not.
I didn't get one.
I just went live on Facebook
Yeah.
before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
But now imagine if there was a platform where you owned all your data when you signed up, and if you want to monetize it, you say, yes, monetize it, and we pay you 80% of that money coming in.
That's incredible.
It's already here. It's called Parler.
Wow.
So I'll give you the story behind Parler. Dan Bongino, the head of the FBI, was the one that founded Parler several years ago. Trump got kicked off of Twitter. He went over to Parler.
Yep, I remember that.
And back then, it was really focused more on just one party. And we've kind of decentralized that. And it's not about a certain party or belief or anything at this point. Because he had it for several years. He sold it to another group. They had it for a couple of years. And then a new guy came in and bought it last year, a good friend of mine. And my very good friend Brian is the CEO. Brian called me, said, hey, we really need the node guy to come in and really kind of help us push some money out there and with the software node. So I came over with those guys and I saw what we were doing. I'm like, this is insane. So since then, we've done some major contracts with some of the biggest influencer platforms in the world. There's a company called Amaze, AMAZE.co, the largest influencer platform in the world with 137 million influencers with a reach to 1.3 or 7 billion active people. So now they're partnered up with us. And now imagine having, let's just call it for the sake of 200 million people. It's more than that, but let's just use that number, 200 million. Then we signed up the Food Network, 140 million people. Then we got Sports.com, Reebok, all these different companies that are coming to us wanting to actually add their users onto our platform. Then we partnered up with a good friend of mine, Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank. Kevin and I have been friends for 25 plus years. Kevin is uploading 100,000 stores. So as you go onto Parler, as of today, yesterday, it's been live for a little while, you start posting, liking, and people are sharing your content that you now own the data for.
Right.
as they do that, they're earning these tokens.
I'm in.
So
Okay, that's the end of the show, folks. I got to get the hell out of here and get my stuff on Parlor.
So move all your content. It doesn't cost you a single thing. You move that over to Parlor, and as people like, share, and comment. And by the way, there's no shadow banning on Parlor. There's no algorithms. You put, I want my stuff to go into tech or pharmacy or real estate. You pick your industries, and it just goes straight down. There's no shadow banning or any of that stuff. So as you do this, people are liking, sharing, and comment. You're earning the tokens, but now we want you to go use those tokens to go buy your stick right here, or your what are those things called? I have one of those things.
The gimbal?
Yeah, the
gimbal.
You're gonna be able to buy any of these type of things using that token. So
Right.
you said, what's the difference between the token and the node? The software node is what confirms the transaction,
Yep.
and when it does its job, think of
Yeah.
it like an employee. Every time you have one node, it's an employee. It goes to work for you 7 days a week. When it does its job, you, because you own the software, will get in your wallet the tokens. Now, I showed you my deposits and my tokens every day. It was quite a few.
Staggering.
But I also put a lot of money into mine, millions of dollars.
Right.
But every blockchain I have, I put more and more and more, because now I understand how it goes. When I first started, 11 grand, 12 million. So now I've got, now I own 5,000 nodes across 14 different brands. So
Wow.
it's quite a few. But as those tokens come in, now I can use those for, we're going to have private aviation. We're going to have hotels, travel. We're going to have.
Yes, you can use it on just
You
about
can use
anything
it
you
for
want. I
anything.
saw just the one with the steak, and I thought it was amazing
Incredible.
because it is
Yeah.
incredible. So it's right from the, you can follow the cow right to your table. You
Yep.
can follow the whatever type of vegetable. You can follow it right to your table. They had the steak on there. It has several different kinds of steak, and then the steak comes right to your place. You're buying it with the token. You're still going to buy it with money if you're going to the store.
Yep.
Why the hell not earn it? Or this thing, like you just said, you have an employee actually working for
Well,
you.
if you-
it's like
if
having
you have
one person
the-
working 24/7 every day.
We talked about what you said earlier. People are so afraid to let loose and try to do this. But if you buy a software node and it's making you that currency or that token every single day, then you can, let's just say you spent $5 grand.
Okay.
$5 grand, you go to the grocery store, that may last you, I don't know, groceries are expensive.
Not long.
Let's just say a couple months, 3 months. I don't know. Something like that.
It's a couple of
If-
months
if you
with
got
family
4
of 5,
kids,
I can promise you.
4 or 5 months. But now if I put that same thing on this on software nodes, and then I showed you, it's like a grocery store. I can go and get my honey, my steaks, everything,
Right.
and I'm using that token, but that's going to feed my family from that point on. I don't have to keep using my hardcore money. So now I'm like, all right, I put $5K in. I've got all my groceries from every day from this point on. All right, now I can take the money I'm really making. I can buy nodes in the Parlor into this one, diversify your portfolio. So that's what I do, is I teach people how to get involved before these projects take off and they really start hitting the market. Because once they hit the market and they hit Coinbase and all this other stuff, you've already missed the mark. You've already missed it.
Right.
The people that make the most money in life are the ones that get in and take the most, a little bit of risk, but you have to understand what you're getting into.
Right. Right.
So
and that's
what
why you're here.
That's
to
what
to
I
help
do,
us
is I teach
understand this.
people. There's no guarantees in life. There's no guarantees on anything. But very fortunate for me, we have a good system where anything that comes through, our legal team goes through, make sure it's structured the right way. Then it goes over to our development team, make sure that it has something called utility. Not all blockchains are good. Not all blockchains are created equal. But we've had very good luck with some of the projects I've done. Now, some take a little longer than some take longer than
Yeah.
others to go through. But the ones that we're doing right now with Parlor, it's been super speed. We've got everything done with almost a year, and we're already starting to hit exchanges here in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So
Wow.
that one's getting ready to take off, and that's the biggest. Thank goodness I've had some very good luck, because the very first one I did pretty good.
You did really good.
This one,
It's going to be even bigger.
well,
Bigger and better. So now,
Bigger and better. You're just talking about $400 million. It's bigger than better than $400 million.
compared to 11.
Yeah, right. So the 1,000 goes to, I mean, come on. I mean, you're talking
Yeah,
about
crazy numbers.
$400+ million here.
crazy numbers.
And it'd be better
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely it will.
I mean, it's
I feel it right now. I just feel the vibe about it. I'm
It's
sitting here with you
generational
right
wealth.
now, and I can feel, you're right.
Absolutely.
Generational.
Well, and I tell people all the time, do you know your great grandfather's name? 4 greats.
4 grades, no.
You know why?
I know great.
You know why? You know, that's all right. You know why?
No.
Because he didn't leave you anything.
Right.
Now, that's the
very
difference
true.
between getting involved in
Oh,
some-
yes, he did. He left me my good looks.
But I want my great-great-great-grandchildren to understand this, because now I don't have to work. I didn't have to work after this last deal. I go to work every day excited because I have, you know, a mutual friend that's downstairs.
Yeah.
That person, you know, they were going through a difficult time, and you know the story, and
Yes.
I was able to help them. If I didn't do what I did, I wouldn't have been able to help him to help his dream. You know, there's so many different people that I've helped that they've came to me, and if I wasn't in the situation I was in, I couldn't do that. Now I've taken a lot of the money I've made into blockchain, and I've diversified. Now I have a cannabis company down in Miami that's going into town. That's I think our first year we're estimated to do $100 million on that deal. Then I've got did you guys see the 747 jet over here, Area 15?
I seen a couple of the jets when we were pulling up.
No, not at the private. I'm talking about
Area 15. No,
There's
we
a
didn't drive past there
There's
at
a
all.
747 jet. This one right here, and I'll show you guys real briefly. So then I put up 100% of that money on this deal, real quick. And so these are different business ventures that I've been able to do, just for boom. Right there.
Wow.
Oh, shoot. There we go. So these are the different. So I'm building that out right now for XYZ amount of money, overlooking the whole strip right there. We're
Wow.
creating a immersive restaurant and a bar and a restaurant, you know,
All
this
inside
stuff
of the jet.
inside the jet. The
Wow,
747.
that's wild.
So there's different projects now that I'm deploying around. I told some of the guys that people in the local, what do you want to call it, town, what's it called, city council.
Okay,
Yeah.
right,
Local
right.
government.
Yeah, we were talking
Yeah.
about that the other night.
Yeah,
The city
I
council. and
want to deploy at least $200 million of my own money into local businesses here in Vegas and help kind of expand and make different things. But those are different things too that I can pass down. So you build out of trust and put all this stuff in there. And
Yeah.
now you're like my grandson right now. My daughter's already set up. She's got a ton of nodes. She doesn't know how many. If she's watching this, I haven't told her.
No idea how many knows, but he did tell me. So give us a call, Roger that live.
But my grandsons, I have 2 grandchildren now. You know, I'm getting ready to buy a house for them, put it in a land trust, boom, boom, boom. But now that house will be in our family for years to come. They're not going to be able to touch it until they're at least 25 years old, or sell it. They'll be able to obviously stay there, but until they're 25, and they're probably already having their kids. So now you're talking grandfather. I've already made it 3 generations down right there, and that's
Yeah.
just a house.
Yeah.
Right.
And now all this other money's going in a trust where they can't go out and spend it. But I'm also positioning them in all these blockchains. How long has YouTube? How long's Amazon been around?
Not long at all.
35 years.
If
when
it
when
has
they were
been,
doing books and stuff.
How long?
When they were doing books,
If
it was
it-
probably
I'm just curious.
because they started all books before they went.
When did Amazon start? 94.
Yeah, I was going to
1994.
say mid 90s.
Wasn't that long ago at
Yeah,
all.
So I went into the Air Force in '93. So a year after I went in. All right. So think about that. Now imagine how many years ago was that? Was that
31 years ago.
32 years ago, right? Because wait.
31 or 32, depending on
32.
what month.
Yeah, so 32. So imagine this company right here, the one I'm showing you, Parlor, 32 years down the road, still paying me 7 days a week on top of everything I've got in there.
Yeah.
And now I've got 20 more projects.
Yeah.
I've got a blockchain, and a lot of these CEOs will call me, and I've got one right now with a gaming company. They have 1.2 billion active users per month on their gaming platform. Fortnite, all those
Yes.
major games. The billing company from them, I just talked to the CEO yesterday. They want me to sell all their nodes for me, and I've got like 10 more right behind that.
Wow.
So people will call me and say, "Hey, you're the node guy." That's my.
You are the node guy.
The node guy. I've got over 14,000 people have bought software nodes from me, and then I just advise them. And I tell people all the time, if I tell you right now this is the one to be at, it's just like being a quarterback. Like you go up the line of scrimmage and you see that this blockchain's taking longer.
Right.
And I'll call them and say, "Hey, listen, I know you put some here, but if I were you, I'd go ahead and buy a couple over here as well, because this one's going to take off faster." and I call it audible, just like a quarterback would. So I'm like, all right, I know you put $3,000 here, but you might want to park 2 more because this one's going
Right.
to take off. And most of my clients will do that, but then you always have some of them out there that, and no disrespect to them, they'll start crying. Well, you told me to do this one. I did tell you to do that one at
Right.
that time.
But
that was the
everything's
one.
changing.
Everything changes daily.
Yeah.
So you have to be flexible in this industry. You can't.
You
just
got to
say,
call the audible.
the quarterback, which is me, because I'd say, listen, I went over and I put another $2 million over here, or it doesn't even, I don't have to use that number. Even if I put $5,000,
Yeah.
if the quarterback's telling you this, we got to change things up so you'll get a nice lick here first,
Right.
then you got to listen to that. And a lot of people, when I say that, I'd probably say 90% of the people actually listen to me and they do it. But there's always a few, and those are the ones that bark the loudest.
Right.
Like, oh man, you told me this, and I was like, I did tell you that, because at that time that's what was going on.
That was
Right.
the one.
So
So you've been in crypto for a long time. What cryptocurrency would you buy right now, if any?
Ooh, I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad you asked that question. I get this question, and this clip right here is about to go viral. You ready for this? Don't buy any of them.
None of them.
None of them. Why would you buy something? All right, give me one. The two that people ask me the most: Bitcoin or XRP.
Yeah, XRP is really big right now. We just talked about that
Okay,
earlier.
XRP. What's the price of XRP right now?
It's probably like $3.10 around
All right,
there.
$3.
Okay.
At $3, you've already missed the run, really. Unless it goes to a couple thousand, then you're still getting a 20x or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
The ones that you make the most money on are the ones that are less than $1.
Yep.
So find one that's, and it's not about one of mine or one. It has zero to do with that. It has to do with, I don't buy crypto. I don't buy any XRP. I don't
No
buy-
crypto at all.
Zero.
None.
Zero. Now watch
Zero.
this. Now watch this. Find
perfect
somebody in my
timing.
industry other than Michael Saylor or something like that makes more than me, then I'll listen to them. You got all these gurus out there trying to tell you to buy XRP. Why? If it stays the same for a year, you made zero. If it goes up a little bit, you made a little bit.
Made 10%,
And if
20%,
it went
whatever.
down, you made zero.
Yeah.
I make money 7 days a week. It can go to $1, $2, 4 cents, 1 cent. I make money 7 days a week.
You make money whether it goes up, down, stays the same, in the
Does
middle.
not matter.
Sideways, backwards,
Exactly.
it
So
doesn't
why would
matter.
you buy a token and be locked into this or this?
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, but such and such told me this. Great, listen to such and such. But stop asking me, because I'm going to tell you the same thing every time.
Yeah.
So it's zero. Don't buy any at all. That's something else, because we were just talking with Larry, Papa Larry. And
Yeah.
He was talking about, hey, what do you guys know about this crypto? He's been
Yeah.
talking about it for
My
years.
grandpa, yeah.
And it seems like he brings it up all the time.
Yeah.
Now-
But the
now let
truth
me give
is,
you
I
an
look at him like, shit, I don't know. I really
Right,
don't know.
yeah.
Now, am I saying it's bad to have any of those in your portfolio? Absolutely not.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I'll give you an example. If somebody called me the other day and they said, hey, I've got $150,000 in XRP and Bitcoin. What should I do? I said, liquidate it. Liquidate every bit of it. He said, what? You're the first person to tell me this. I was like, explain to me why. I said, I'll tell you what. What has Bitcoin in the last 1 year, how much profitability has Bitcoin done? 20%.
Yeah.
I
Just
know
about
exactly.
20%.
I know the numbers inside.
Yeah.
20% in the last year. That means it was 98,000, went to 120 something. It's up 20%.
Yeah.
That $100,000, if you would have put it in software nodes over here with the deal I would have set him up with, boom, boom. Right now he would have made about 1.5 million. So now, liquidate, buy the nodes, boom, boom. As there's a dip, as there always is with Bitcoin, anybody follows it every 3 to 4 years,
Yep,
it
of
made a
course.
dip. Come back in and buy it at the dip. But now you also have multiple streams of revenue coming in.
Right.
So
I like the multiple streams of revenue.
yeah,
I like
and
it.
I like something that pays me 7 days a week, not just something for the last year. It's only when I say only 20%, that's really good, but that's real estate numbers. People
Right.
are like 20%. All right, my last one I did 1,000%. I like my numbers a lot better, and it doesn't even have to get to $1,000 for my 1,000%.
Absolutely right.
It went to 84 freaking cents,
84 cents.
and I
Yeah.
made 1,000%.
That is just
So it was less
remarkable.
than so it's less than $1, and I made 1,000%. Which one would you rather do?
1,000%. Absolutely.
1,000% all day long.
Yeah.
So, and I tell people, if you're gonna buy crypto, there's nothing wrong with it. I would never do it, and I would never advise anybody else to do that. You can think I'm crazy, but I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Right.
Right.
And if you make more than me, I'll listen to you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm not, and that's not being a dick. But it's me
No,
telling
it's
you
the
the math
truth.
is the math.
Yeah.
If you
It
find
is.
a good blockchain, and that good blockchain is helping you get from here to there, and you know how to do that side. But there's always going to be people that just want to park their money. Great, but park it in something that's going to make you money 7 days a week. That's
Right.
just my philosophy.
7 days a week is amazing because it really is. And the up and down thing is amazing too because, I mean, he is
Yeah,
right.
Bitcoin could crash
But if you
and
were
he's still
buying
making
stock
money.
and people talk about, well, if you're up 20% on your money, that's good numbers.
great numbers.
But here's something that most people haven't heard. And we've said it a couple times already. We were talking about $400 million. You know, we're not talking about, hey man, I took my portfolio, I just retired, and my portfolio is X amount of dollars, $700,000. I put it in the stocks. I'm making my 10%, my 20%. I'm living off, and I got my $70,000 or $140,000, whatever it may be. That's great. I would hope to have that too. But here's the other side to that. You're talking about millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars.
It's a little different. Yeah.
Soon to be $1 billion.
It's a lot different.
Hopefully.
It's a lot.
With all 14 of them combined, 100% in the next
You'll get
16
there.
months. Yeah. And I never got into this to be a billionaire either. That was never even. But the more that you learn, the more, just like in the last hour, you're like, what the more that you really
Yeah.
get your head wrapped around and say, I can park and buy some notes. But now you're saving money instead of spending money. And this is the part that people have to understand is when you're buying a software node, you're not spending money. What you're doing is it's allowing you to take that money, just like the steak. If you bought that software node and you're able to make all these tokens and buy all your food, you're not using your real dollars. Now you're saving them, right? Now
Right.
take that and buy a node in this one, and then a node in this one, and a node in that one. Now you're diversified. Now you're not using any of your regular cash for your Ubers. Now you're not using any of your cash to get real gold and precious metals. Now you're not using any of your money to buy a vacation, which most people don't even get to do, but now
Right.
you can.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you can post. We've got people right now in different countries around the world posting on Parler right now, making $8 to $10 a week, which is more than they make in a month working. Right now, that's a fact. So now they're making $8, $10 by just posting and good and most of them they're just pulling off other people's social
Right,
moving
and
over
just
there.
reposting it for themselves. Yeah.
That's it.
Reposting it, yeah.
You don't have to go out and create all this content to make big money.
Absolutely
all
not.
you have to do is grab good content, move it over there because it's a decentralized. Go ahead.
And no, I was just saying, I would argue that people that clip other people's content make more money
Oh yeah.
than people trying to make their own original
Because
content.
they got nothing invested.
Exactly.
But
and,
the
it's,
original
and it's easy
content,
too,
though-
and it's already done well.
Exactly.
I know that, but it's nice to have our own content. I
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
this is different. Yeah,
I like our own content,
Yeah.
but I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's-
right.
We have friends that do that.
Yeah.
We have more than a couple of friends that do
Yeah,
that.
a lot
and
of people do that.
And they've got
They do well.
100,000 followers,
Yeah.
and they haven't made a video at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At all. There's
Yeah.
no sign of their face on anything.
Yeah.
And we're putting our faces out there, and that's where the money's at.
But I'll tell you, let me. With that being said, I'll tell you.
That's actually bullshit. Let's just be honest with you. You can have a good looking face, and I must not because the money isn't there.
Yet.
So,
Yeah.
Because you don't own software nodes.
yeah.
yet.
Well, the software nodes are coming.
They're coming.
They're coming. I'm
But
excited about
I'll
it.
tell you this: growing up, the people that make the most money though are the people that are good copycatters.
Yeah.
When you get out of high school and college, you know what they tell you to do? Go find a mentor. What is a mentor? A mentor is somebody that you want to learn exactly how to do it step by step by step. It's exactly what I do is I mentor people on how to do this. But guess what? All I'm doing is taking the information from people that taught me, passing it down. In high school, I was a copycat. I copied everything. I was dyslexic, ADHD. I could barely get a C+ on anything, and I was like, man, I'm not fucking stupid. Why are my grades just not there? And the older I got, I was like, man, I just don't get it. I never passed the algebra class. I don't give a shit. It is what it is. But then I took the test and I got top secret clearance Air Force. They're like, you're smart. The tests were just set up the wrong way for you to succeed. So then I got in the Air Force and I exceeded. I got something called a Dedallion Award. Only 22 of them given away every 2 years in the whole world per squadron in the world for Air Force. And I got one of those awards. So then I was like, oh shit, I'm not dumb. The tests I was taking just weren't.
They weren't accommodated for
And
you.
I think that's
Yeah.
important
And
for
I
people to
think that's
understand because there's a lot of kids out there who just don't do good in school.
Yeah.
And it's typically those are the ones that succeed the most.
And especially
Absolutely
in entrepreneurship.
they do.
Yeah.
You look at Steve Jobs, ADHD, dyslexic.
Yeah.
Exact same thing.
Right.
So people like me that had the exact same thing growing up, they didn't know what it was. They just had us in remedial places. I'm like this. But now because now I can manage so many different businesses I have, so many different blockchains, so many different clients, all simultaneously. My brain's always like this.
Where do you find the time to do that? Let me
Yeah.
you put that on a better question. Where in the hell do you find the time to do that? No, in all seriousness, because it sounds like there's so much going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening. Although I did see your laptop, you opened it up to us, and that was very interesting. We talked for about a good hour prior to all this, and just kind of going over some stuff, and just having just BSing about some stuff. And I found it really interesting that he opened up the computer for us and went over some stuff. And I mean, there's a lot going on there.
And I showed you my private back office.
Yes.
Too. Yeah. And I wanted you guys to see that because, I don't. This podcast is not for me to get on here and toot my own horn. This podcast is so you can see it with your eyes. So you say, "Hey, this is real." And how do you guys, add value to your watchers, right?
Yeah.
And the way that you do that is like, first of all, you got to find people that are doing what you hope to be doing, which is make enough money for your family legacy, right?
Right.
I mean, that's the reason I do what I do. I don't have to work. When I made, and I go back to this again, when I made that first $11 million, I looked around, not one single person could get on a plane with me the next day and fly anywhere. They couldn't afford it or they had to be at work. And I was like, this fucking sucks. So at that point I said, you know what? I'm really gonna turn this up and I'm gonna go around and start teaching everybody. Now, because that first project that we launched, I think I had 3 or 4 people follow me. That was it. And I called over 100 people. And they didn't even start from day one. Now, every single person I talk to in my circle, my mother, my nieces, my nephew, my cousins, my best friends, everyone in my circle, and even 2 or 3 circles outside of there, own software nodes now. So we're on track to create over 250 millionaires, brand new millionaires, just in Vegas alone from people buying software.
250.
Yeah.
250 millionaires. We talked about this the other night too. Yeah.
And we're recording.
And I sat there and thought, okay, there were people walking by. There were celebrities walking by. I don't know if you noticed or not.
Yeah.
And usually we're talking to all the celebrities, and then the other guys are coming over there interviewing us. We're talking to everybody.
Yeah.
We're talking to the Power Slap guys, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. All of a sudden, I'm with you, and I'm listening to you, and people are walking by, and I'm like, well, this is interesting, man. What the hell is he talking about?
Right,
here?
yeah.
Because it's like a foreign language you got to learn quick.
Yeah.
That's how I felt the other night. I felt like, well, what if we don't do a podcast with him? What if we don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
How do you
these
retain the
circles that he's
information?
talking about, I need to get in that inner circle,
Yeah.
and I want to. What the hell is going on, and how is this working? And if that's the case, because I'll tell you just a small bit about me, and I've always looked at something as a flaw. I help people.
Yeah.
And I've always helped people. People call me for everything under the sun.
Yep.
And I help them, no matter what it is. I help them. And I'm always, I think it's to a flaw, but it's a good thing. We both know, I noticed just by talking with you the other night about it, so many people, right? And then people pass away or things happen in your life and all these different things happen. And you think, oh, that wasn't the way it was. I had a plan. Well, it really isn't how you had it planned. Because I 4 nights ago, I didn't meet you. Today, we're sitting in this hotel room looking over this beautiful fountain, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, we had to shut the curtains.
Blind.
We can open up for a second and see if
we're sitting here. It's beautiful outside. We're in we've got the mountains.
I think it's dark enough, right?
Yeah. You think it is? Raj can take a quick look. It looks like it is darker now. We would not have been here if we didn't meet you the other night, if we were not here
Shout
this
out to
weekend.
John Orlando, by the way.
Shout out to John Orlando. And it's more than interesting. If it can help somebody else, if it can help myself and my family, right? And if it can help those that are around me,
Right.
I think it's fabulous.
So we also noticed that you do a lot for the community and you give back, like you were saying, to a bunch of different people. You help make people have generational wealth. Talk a little bit about, I saw recently you gave away over $1 million or $1 million to help the community. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so growing up, like I told you guys, I don't come from anything. So one of the biggest things I've ever wanted to do was stroke $1 million check back to a charity. There's a charity here in Las Vegas called Hope for the City. So I'll be with them, I think, next Thursday as well. So I went to their event last year. During COVID, there was 100,000 people in Vegas that couldn't eat. They couldn't have Christmas with the kids. And so Pastor Mike and his partner Kelly I've known Kelly for quite some time. We ended up connecting through a mutual friend, and I went to their fundraising, if you want to call it. And I was there, and I was listening to them. They don't take one single penny from that. When you donate, 100% of that goes back. They have big partnerships with Cisco. Cisco's the biggest food company out there.
Cisco Foods for sure.
And so they got these contracts, and they're helping, and they built out this beautiful thing in Henderson where it's a light show. They've got Max Crosby from the Raiders, a lot of these celebrities. And what they do is when you pull in, they raise the trunk of your car, your truck, and the kids are there, and there's bubbles, and there's lights, and you'll start driving through here. And as you go through there, they put Christmas gifts in the back, and then they'll put food in there for the family to go home and have Christmas food. And then they got necessities like clothes and showers and all not showers, but
everyday needs and
all that kind of stuff. And I saw what they were doing, and I was like, man. So I went to this event last year. Was it December? And they got up, and I said, I was watching it. My heart was just beating out of my chest, and I was like, man, this is something I can get behind, because this is something 100% of the money, because a lot of these nonprofits are out there 90% or 85%, and they keep a big portion of that.
Right.
And they're like, we don't take a single penny of it. 100% go back.
Seeing that really moved you. Seeing them putting the food into the trunk.
Yeah.
Seeing them. Now the kids don't know. They're looking. They're looking at the lights. They're having a great time. They're enjoying everything.
The
music's playing.
And as they're looking and seeing Santa Claus and seeing all this lights, they're grabbing the food and the gifts, and they're already pre-wrapped, so the parents don't have to go home and even wrap them. They're already done.
Wow.
So
That's fabulous,
yeah.
man.
So
what an event. I
was like, man, I've got to be a part of this. So I walked up to him. I said, what's the most anybody's ever gave you guys for this? And they said Shaq for $100,000. I said, Shaq, only $100,000? Well, Shaq gives a lot to a lot of places.
Yeah.
So he's a stud. So I was like, all right. And there was a big group of people there that year, or at that event, but not one person came up even for $5,000. I said, I didn't do it in front of everybody. I didn't need that kind of attention, but I said, just come see me when it's done. I want to give you guys, I want to be your biggest donor. They're like, what? What do you say? The biggest donor. So they came back over, and sure, I said, hey, I want to give you guys $1 million, and because the money
that's
you make,
fantastic,
the
man.
money you make though is only a tool. And I tell people all the time, if you truly want to change lives, take care of you and your family first. You can't take care of other people until you're financially set. And so that's what I started doing. I said, all right, I'm going to find, and I get DMs from people all the time, and I hate that, because I don't individually help people like that. I go out and help, like things like that.
Well, we're not going to, I just want to let you know real quick. I don't mean to interrupt your thought. We're not going to DM you. Honey, watch the kids for the next couple of years. We're running with him. We are not being held captive. It's all fine. We're going to run with him. We're staying here in Vegas. The clothes that we have are just fine. We got a wash machine on the other, somewhere down one of these hallways.
There's a department store right down there.
Right.
Well, I mean, what you have, this is a little much, but once you have nice things.
I mean, it's a cool shirt, though. Sometimes you got to have a couple cool things. You got a beautiful necklace. I told you that the other night. It's really cool. Yeah. Right, but I mean, no, but you're giving back to the community is uncanny, man. That's just incredible.
And I told somebody when I first moved out here, before I ever had the money I have, I said I want to be the biggest donor ever in Las Vegas, ever. And I know you've got the billionaires out here, you got the casino hosts and everything. I said, but I really think in the next 5 years I'm going to donate well over between $1 and $5 billion of my wealth back to helping people and helping the community. I'm a veteran, helping veterans. And now that we're Hope in the City, we're actually taking that worldwide and taking what we're doing here and taking it to every major city. And I told them I was going to help fund that. And this year, we're having the event next week. And I said between 10 and 100 million bucks this year, I'm going to donate back out of the wealth I'm already making. But that wouldn't be possible, once again, if I didn't take my financial situation 100% serious and focus on doing that. So any advice I would give anybody out there is that if you truly have a giving heart, find whatever nonprofit you like or family or whatever it is, but get your money right first. And that's why I take what I do so seriously. Whenever nobody could turn around and help, or, take off and go places with me. I said, I'm going to fix that. And sure enough, every single person in my circle now, if they're in my circle, they own a software node, and they'll tell you that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit out of the box question. If you were to lose everything you have right now, including connections, how would you make it back?
Says this one.
Right there.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I guess what? Who's interviewing? You saw him the other night.
Yeah, we talked to him for a long time. He came up to me. He was like, "Hey, I really love your shirt." And super nice kid, by the way.
Yeah.
We talked for a while.
He's coming back in 2 weeks to interview me.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's great, man.
He just
'cause
texted me yesterday.
He's
Did
got
he?
a ton of followers.
No, I liked him. He was a
He's
super nice guy.
really cool.
Only 7.4 million. I mean,
Yeah.
Hey, who's counting? But who's counting?
Yeah, but who's counting? But yeah, go ahead. Ask the
So
question.
yeah, so if you were to lose everything, including connections, how would you make it back?
Blockchain, AI, blockchain, one of the two, because both of them right now are 100%.
They're aligned going up into
And
the
I
sky.
tell people that's called emerging market. When every major corporation that you can Google and see that is in it, but nobody around you knows what the hell's going on, that's called emerging market. Get in early and do that. So if I lost 100% of everything I had, how hard is it for me to come up with $1,000? I mean, I'll go wash car. I don't care. I could figure out
Make the first $1,000.
make $1,000, no problem. And what I do is buy a software node. Then I'd buy 2, then 4, because that is what I know. The knowledge that you learn is that's the thing.
That's the key to success.
But AI, I don't know that much about, but I know a lot of people are making money doing that, which is great. But my knowledge comes from software nodes and understanding that 7 days a week I could get a paycheck where I wouldn't have to go to a job and try to focus on making $1,000.
Yeah, that's
a
interesting.
week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could go work somewhere for just a long enough, and then what I would do is continue working every single day till I could get that up to 5, 10, 15. And somewhere like Parler or some of these new ones, blockchains, and I've got a lot of, I've got the ex-CEO of Discover Card, Kathy. I love that woman. She's like family to me. She was the CFO of Discover Card. So her and I worked together on some stuff, and her partner Brad, and there's so many amazing people you meet in this industry, and they all want the same thing. They just want to help change the world, but help people as you go. So for me personally, I would sit around and I would teach other people exactly, give them the knowledge I have, get everybody going that way, create a coalition of people,
A network of wealth.
the network of people, and just help, and we would build that thing together and go from there.
I like that answer. That was really good.
Because when you do help, when you do that to people and do that with people, then the hope is, because I know it's your hope is they're giving back to their own community, wherever that may be, right? Because they're not all going to be from Las Vegas. Obviously, we're from Detroit. We're from North Detroit, Mount Clemens. And if we are able to, let's say we get involved and we make some bucks, and then our family's set, like you say, because you're supposed to do, you are right, though. Just take care of yourself, get yourself in the right space first. And once you do that, then you start helping this next person, you start helping this next person. Now they're helping somebody else. It goes a long way. It does go a long way. And time is going to happen no matter what. 1 year is coming, 2 years are coming.
It's coming either way.
It's coming either way. So why not have something making money 7 days a week?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if you continue working, like I said, everything you make that week, you buy another one, boom, boom, boom. And before long, you're like, oh, shit, now I've got $20,000 a month coming in without working. You take that, and you just keep doubling down. And that's how you do it. But, there's that TV show, I think Grant Cardone was on it, where they just drop you off in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you don't have your phone. You don't have anything. You have to start from absolutely nothing and build back up. And that's kind of what I would do. I'd find somebody in tech space, find somebody in the blockchain space, and understand what they're doing, and I would build it that way. Everybody's got their thing. Some people are in real estate. There's nothing wrong with real estate. Real estate's great, but I think, in my whole heart, I think that blockchain and tech and AI will create 10 times more millionaires over the next 10 years than real estate ever did.
So it's not too late.
No, not even
We're at
close.
the beginning of all of this right
We
now.
are. I mean, I got started before anything was really even bubbling 11 years ago. So 2015, I went full force into this. And like I said, everybody thought I was crazy. They're like, oh, man, that's a scam. It's only used for drug money or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. I tell you what, you guys are still living paycheck to pay. And I'm not to cut on them. You guys are still living paycheck to paycheck. I'm riding around on a private jet, first time I've ever been on one. Listen to a guy making worth $100 million. You just call. You say what you want to, but my advice to everybody all the time: if they don't make what you want to be making, stop listening to them. Stop taking advice from them.
That's the truth.
I mean,
Yeah.
so many people are like, well, my best friend's cousin, or whoever told me not to do this. They told me to do this. And I was like, okay, great. Listen to them. But are they making what you want to make? No. Then why take advice from people like that? So.
Yeah. That is true. It's difficult to do because we're all surrounded with our surroundings anyway. So
And I'll tell you this: I love my family to death, but don't listen to your family either. My
Yeah.
mother, I love my mother. My mother's like, I don't know, that sounds really risky. There's no way I would do that. And now she's like, I knew you would do it. You're my son. And
You are so smart.
Yeah, you must get that from me. But for the first couple of years, she's like, I don't know about
man, I don't know what's going on
I've
there.
seen you crash and burn 50 other times. I was like, listen, 51's the magic number, though. So, you know,
That's
you
true.
have to have so much belief in what you're doing, but that's where it comes in, where you have to get on calls and understand the project and understand where it's going and understand that you're going to be a pioneer and there's going to be bumps and bruises and there's going to be potholes. And I tell people, if this was a car and you're driving through the country and you need shocks, you need something to level it out. Every time you hit a pothole, or here's a scenario I use all the time, when people are going 150 miles an hour, which is entrepreneurs usually going 150 miles an hour. If a bug hits the windshield, if you're the type of person that's going to pull over and say, oh, shit, bug hit the windshield, what am I going to do? Oh, my gosh, I can't believe this, and start freaking out, this is not the life for you. If you're the type of person going 150 miles an hour, a bug hits your windshield wipers on, keep going, that's, you know, you have to train your brain, though, because so many people are nervous and afraid, but I can tell you, the more that you dive into self-development, which is a very, very key for any entrepreneur to get in, if you can get in there and just learn that you are meant for something greater. There's a book by Dick Vitale called...
and he's out of Detroit. Dick Vitale.
is.
Yeah,
Coach at
100%.
UAD.
Not Dickie V. What's his doggone name? Hold on. I got to pull this up and tell you guys real quick. But this book right here changed a lot of things for me. Right here, Audible. I listen to books as I travel. But one of my, Track Money Now by...
Track Money Now.
yeah, Joe Vitale.
Joe Vitale.
Yeah. So,
Well,
Track
you're
Money
so
Now.
close. I'm sure there's a Joe Vitale in Detroit.
Yeah.
There's enough Vitales that we
A
know.
ton of Vitales in
So
Detroit.
this is
Right.
the guy that wrote The Secret. So,
Okay.
so
You like that book?
That's a great one. The Magic of Thinking Big. These are some of my personal one. The Magic of Thinking Big.
Okay.
Another freaking great one. You got to train your brain to be so focused on what you're doing that every time someone says something negative about your business, whatever industry you're in, you just keep going 150 miles an hour.
So you travel around the country
All
quite
over
a
the
bit.
world. I just got back from Dubai. They flew me to Dubai to speak out in Dubai. I fly all over. I just got back 3 weeks ago. I was in Ibiza, then London, then back. Then I flew to Tampa 72 hours later, came back here, did more meetings, and then I've got like 4 more meetings coming up. But yeah, I'm always everywhere.
Where do you actually reside? Is there a state that you reside in?
Right over here.
Right here.
Yeah, in Vegas. Yeah.
Right here in
Yeah,
Vegas.
I'm building a big house right over here. Not that I need a big house, but a house. Let's put it there.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
house.
right on. Okay, well, there's a deal we lost right there. We could have been building that house. The hell's going on? But what he's telling us not to build it, and I think he's right.
Well,
I think
until you make, now I'm.
it takes time to make. I get it.
Yeah,
It does take time to make money when you buy these nodes.
But I'll tell you this: the house I was building, and this is not the boast brag, but I'll tell you, the house I was building. Now this is crazy because my friends know the story. Is I was building a $6 million house here, paying cash for it, and it got to the point where they wanted me to put down 7 figures plus, and they're like, all right, well, we need you to go ahead and finalize this transaction and finish buying the house. We'll be done in 30 days. And I said, all right, if I pull another couple $1,000,000 right now, if I do that, yes, I could be living in my brand new house, gorgeous house, 6 bedrooms, right off the Vegas Strip, everything. And I'm like, and there was already parts of this house I was like, yeah, I didn't really like this because I bought it 40% done and I had an ex-girlfriend that changed some things. So I said, or I could sell this one, take that $1.5 million, $2 million I already got into it, or for closing costs, and I could buy more software nodes. People are like, you're freaking nuts. You're moving to your house. I'm like, I'm not listening to you. And they're like, you're crazy. So
Crazy.
What I do? I sold the freaking house. I took that money, bought
Right
more
on.
nodes, and now in the next, I would say by January, February, I can build that $6 million house every 3 to 4 days. because I took the money and I was patient. That's what I was saying earlier is patience in this industry. You got to have it. You got to know that you know where this thing's going. And I'm going to tell you, with Parlor, we're going to be going toe-to-toe with XRP because, I can't say too much about that yet, but I can say there's a lot of big things happening.
There's a lot of big things happening.
A lot of big things happening.
Well, I tell you what, I'm intrigued by it all, and I hope that we can continue to talk with you, continue to learn from you, and that's why I asked if you're ever in Detroit or whatever. But speaking engagements or just podcasting, we should be updating. We should be talking once a month, if not once every 2 months, where we're talking, where we're going over some new stuff, some new strategy, what's coming out, what's new, because it's always changing, like you just said. And today's podcast is great. It might be even better, but my point is, I think that we should set aside a time and always do something. And I like that we're in person. Roger's big on in person. We have done some where guys are in the different parts of the country and stuff like that, but it doesn't give the interaction that we feel that's needed.
Yeah, Zoom and online podcasts, to me, they don't work.
They don't hit,
because it's more of a question response than a conversation. Because there's always a slight delay, and then the guest has their phone is propped up weird and it doesn't come out good. I love doing in-person stuff a lot more.
A lot more. And to have him in the RV would be cool. He would love the RV. When you see the inside of this RV, you're going to say, you know what, Roger? We're writing you a check. Here, we'll get 10 more of these RVs because this is the bomb.
Well,
and I don't know if we could find them because it's a 1986, okay? So I'm just letting you know right now. You saw the picture of it, right?
You know John Madden. John Madden would take an RV from city because he never wanted to fly around on planes. Did you know that?
Yeah,
wow,
I did.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he never flew on a plane ever. He would always take an RV. That's why he was always on the RV because he just hated flying.
It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. A little bit longer.
And that's why they started all that tailgate and stuff. The Madden bus would come and everybody would
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
See,
when we
so that's
this,
that's actually kind of cool.
So John Madden and nodes, that's what you learned about today.
One more quick question before we wrap up. So if you could give one piece of advice to an aspiring entrepreneur, what would you say?
Find your passion, whatever your passion is. It doesn't have to be any of this. Find your passion and go find the most successful person in your area that's doing it and beg them for mentorship. It doesn't matter what you enjoy doing, what you're thriving to. If you like fitness, go find the most successful person in your area and say, please, this is my passion. This is what I enjoy doing. What would it take? And if they tell you go sit in a corner, don't say a word for an hour, you sit there until they literally, so many people like, well, this is stupid. This is da-da-da. And they're so impatient, they're not going to listen. But if that person is truly the best in that industry around you, he's doing that to see how patient you're going to be, how well you're going to pay attention, what you're going to listen to or not. I got people all the time, please mentor me. I'll tell them something. Then they'll sit there and start questioning me or everything else. And I'm like, no, you're asking. You have to earn that person's respect. So whatever industry it is, you have to earn that person's respect. And if they tell you to go do something, go do it. Obviously, as long as it's within legal ramifications and everything else. But when people come to me, I say, when I get them started in software nodes, they're like, what else? What I need to do every day? The beautiful thing about what I do is you don't have to do anything every day. Your nodes go to work for you 7 days a week. That's why I love doing this and helping people. Like, well, what about in 2 months? Well, let's talk every 3 or 4 weeks. But to answer your question, whatever industry they found passion in or they find passion in, just go find that most successful person. Say, hey, listen, this is where I want to be at. This is the industry I want to be at. So please give me your time and attention, whatever. I'm going to earn it. I don't expect you to just give it to me. Tell me what I can do to earn it. Ask them. And whatever they tell you, go do it without question.
I think that's great advice. I think it is true. Because even just growing up, you watch people grow. You watch people do business. You watch them. Like my whole family, everybody did something on the Italian side. They all had a business. They all had a restaurant. They own this. They own that. And you just watch. And every weekend, I remember just us talking or eating dinner together or what have you, and everybody just kind of, well, what's this guy doing over there? I heard, hey, there's another new restaurant around the corner. Or there's another new party store. And you're learning as you go. And I always wanted to sit with the adults because the kids were just talking about the kids stuff. I always sat with adults because I found that all intriguing. Right? But right now, right here today, this is better than those. Well, I miss everybody that was in those meetings with us years ago as a kid. obviously, because many have passed away.
Right.
But I'm here to tell you right now, this conversation is really intriguing, man. And I know I've used that word a couple of times.
It's a great word to use, quite honestly.
It's just like, wow, I didn't know any part of this.
Yeah.
He had no idea about John Madden.
Yeah.
And we're learning so much shit here today. I just feel like I just went back to college. I'm around high school and college again. And I felt the same way in school. I got to tell you, it wasn't until I got to college, when you were talking earlier about, it just kind of clicked. Like in high school, I was just, okay, I had a lot of fun, a lot of buddies, and we loved the school we went to. But when I went into college, the guys in college, they weren't professors. The professors were actually in business. So they worked at General Motors or Ford, or they owned dealerships, or they owned this, or one guy wrote a movie. And to me, it was like, oh, wow, this guy wrote a movie. And Danny DeVito was in it. And I was just sitting in his class thinking, well, this is really cool. Yeah. And when it was over, I was like, I want to talk to this guy. Like, hey, what was he like? What was Danny DeVito like? You know, and how was it putting all these guys together and doing this? And that was really cool to me. And that's where that mentorship idea you're talking about, because you should be working in the field in which you're at.
That you're passionate about.
My number one thing, and I'm going to give this again, and I say this a lot, I think the handshake is super important, right? And
eye contact with it.
Eye contact's very important. And there's just a lot there, but I think that if you have this dream, and what you're talking about here today, and you're talking about these nodes, and if you put together the nodes, you can have your dream, whatever that may be. If these nodes were working for us right now, Roger, we could podcast everybody and have a ride together the rest of our lives. Yeah. I mean, because that's what we do. We have so much fun. We're just talking about this suitcase, for God's sakes, right? I mean, the people can't see, but we've got a suitcase here that we loaded up the gear
engineering.
We loaded the gear up in it, and we were like, but when we took it to the airport, it was like they're stopping it, they're checking it, what is going on? What are these things going through there, right?
TSA was all...
They were all over it, man. And then they ran it back through again. And I'm like, well, it went through there once. They looked at it. They're going through there again. The guy goes, well, what's in here? Well, we're podcasters, right? Those are a bunch of microphones.
Right. But, let's touch back. I'm going to go backwards at what you just said there, because I was going to say this a while ago. And let's just say your passion's food. Yeah, that's not a very good one. Let's just say car sales, but you're in the food industry. Sometimes you got to stick with what you're doing right then, long enough to get the money and to go into maybe your own pizzeria. Maybe you got to do something long enough to get enough money to follow your passion. But those are sacrifices. Growing up, we didn't have any money, zero, no money, extra money for anything. There were I did stuff that I didn't want to do simply because it was a means to the end at that moment. But save. Then you can afford to go do this. Maybe it's buying a software node. Maybe they can't afford $1,000. Most of my clients start off with, and we'll talk about that too real quick. So those that want to possibly get involved, that have some means or some money that they could do, I think we decided to use the code Roger, right?
Yep.
So
code Roger.
If you go to my Instagram, which is Billy BILLYWO, Billy Wo, and you put Roger. We're going to try to figure out something special to do for you guys for listening to the podcast. Or is that the easiest way? What's the easiest way?
I think that's easy.
That is probably the easiest way. Either contact us or you, and then we'll put the dots
either
together.
One of them. So contact them or contact me, either way. But you need to use the word Roger. For those that do 10 plus, we're going to do something special for you. I know it's 10 grand. You're like, oh, that's a lot of money. But you're not spending the money. Remember that. You're buying a software that's going to work for you. Everybody says investing, but when you go to Microsoft and you buy their software on the box, you're not investing into Microsoft. You're buying the software that actually is going to make your life easier and better. Same thing here. SEC doesn't like us using the word investing. So what I'm telling you guys is, if you want to learn more, I've got an email that I'll send out to you guys that's got websites and articles and talk about. Oh, and I've got one more thing to tell you. How big is this? I can't believe I didn't talk about this one. So there's a little company, a little church called the Vatican. You may have heard of them.
Yes.
You've heard of
The Vatican, of course.
The Vatican.
So they have a contract with a group called Holy Deeds. Holy Deeds, we have that contract. So everything that the Holy Deeds does out there on the blockchain is done on our top of our blockchain. So they're going to be taking these NFTs and all these artifacts that they're NFT and digitizing. They're going to be setting up different traveling museums and different things like that, and we're helping them do that. So we've got some of the biggest companies. So when you're thinking, wow, that sounds super cool, you're getting behind a company that's the visionaries, that's changing the world, and partnered with some of the biggest companies in the world. That's what you have to understand when you do this is I'm not just wasting 10 grand or 5
Right.
grand or whatever. You're really getting behind. When Facebook was looking for investors, I mean, it was the sloppiest looking Facebook. I remember MySpace back in the day.
Yeah.
MySpace was just a music platform, and they used for social media, and then they went into that. And it was just very choppy the way Facebook used to be. But we're much further down the road than that. But you have to kind of ride the ups and the downs and be there and say, all right, this is the future. When us, the people, take the power back, that's the power of decentralization of blockchain. The reason blockchain exists is so we, the people, just like the declaration, we, the people, are wanting to get this back. We, the people, want to do this together, and that's how we all win together. Instead of posting on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok every day, if you start telling all your friends and your followers to follow you, not me, you on there. I mean, you can follow me if you want. You'll find me on there. But follow you on there and supports you in your business.
Absolutely.
And we're building a marketplace on there. So if you're a personal trainer and you want to start selling your T-shirts or whatever, I don't know what services or whatever
Absolutely.
it is. If you're a stay-at-home mother and you've got a T-shirt business, we're setting up a marketplace where you're going to be able to set that up and utilize that as well. So there's so many things that you're going to be able to do on there. It's not just a social media platform.
I like it.
It's everything. So I encourage you guys all to go to Parler, set up an account. But most importantly, the reason I would tell you, most people are already on Instagram, so it's easier to just send me a message there. But I'll send you the links for Parler so you can go over there and research exactly what we're doing. And everybody tells me, well, let me go research. I'm going to give you the links so you research it. All you're going to do is go to Google, and you have to go through 500 different things to find them, or I can just send them to you direct, and you don't have to worry about it.
Find them direct is the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we'll have all those links on our page too.
Yeah, and I'll send those to you guys.
Yeah,
as
we'll be
well.
able to do all that.
But I want to thank you guys again for allowing me to come share.
Of course, thank you so much for coming on.
Anything else for me?
Yeah, no.
I think I've hit everything I really wanted to ask. Do you have
If
anything
not, you're
else?
going to get to see me on the School of Hard Knocks interview here
Right.
pretty soon.
I like that.
Shout out School of Hard Knocks. James, you were
Shout out to him.
awesome.
Let's throw him up on there.
James
Throw
is
his picture up on there right now of all of us standing there. That was a
Yeah.
good time, man.
Take a picture. Yeah.
I was able to interview him and
great.
ask him the question that he asked people. That was fun.
We're coming at you live from RogerThatLive, and I'm here with this gentleman right now, and I have to ask you a couple quick questions.
Let's do it.
Okay, so what is the most amount of money you made in a single year?
This year, well over $6 million.
About
Over
$6 million.
this year. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I got a lot of people in town. Bellagio's completely sold out today. There's something going
It
on.
is packed down there.
you-
They were saying Vegas is dead. It is definitely not dead.
It's unbelievable.
It is absolutely not
How
dead.
many people
look at
are
that.
back there?
Oh, there we go. Now they're going to be able to see the fountains here. The fountains are getting ready to go. So
Yeah, the fountains are.
look at there.
Yeah, and they got the.
There we go. We got the fountains going down here.
Yeah,
There they are.
Roger, grab it right now.
There we go. Look at there. As a matter of fact, and we turn the TV, so the music they're playing down there plays on here. I'll turn it up so you guys can.
Really?
Yeah. So on channel 22.
What a hell of a room with a hell of a view. I tell you, this is just amazing.
Yep, that's what they're playing out there right now. This music.
A little bit of you too.
Yeah. So that's.
Isn't that wild?
It's gonna be really beautiful here in another hour when the lights go down, and I eat dinner right over there all the time, overlooking the fountains. My buddy's the general manager. I come here and just do a ton of
Give him
meetings.
that microphone.
No, I just want to say I've never seen this before, and this is one of the coolest things I've ever
have you
seen.
not? Yeah.
Yeah,
When the
I've-
lights come down, and right there the Cromwell right here, that is where look at that. Never gets old. And this music that you're hearing here in the room is what's playing down there right now.
Yeah, so when you're standing out there, this music's it's blaring out there, man.
Yep, it's blaring out there. And
Everybody can hear it.
Wow.
Yeah, and they have every 30 minutes, it's a different, look at that room. Every 30 minutes, a different dance for the water that they do.
Could you imagine when he built this, and he's sitting up on top of that roof going, "Look, I'm the king." Because remember there was a boat down there, the pirate ship, and all the other
Yeah.
things in front of places.
And then right over here is where they did, see the Caesar's Palace right there when they did what was the show? And The Hangover.
Oh,
Hangover. What a great movie, by the way.
What a riot.
Yeah.
We did see Carrot Top yesterday
We did.
Nice.
at the restaurant.
My buddy,
He was in The Hangover.
My buddy is the manager for. He's the stage manager for Carrot Top.
Wow.
Yep. So.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this
Look
is.
at that.
Here in about another 30 minutes as this goes down, and then what's her doggone name? The lady from California. She's taking over the Cromwell. So Drage, which is the pool party right up there, they're getting ready to do away with that. That's what Dre's is. They're pushing them back into the basement. And what's that lady's name that owns the restaurants in California?
Oh, you're talking
The
about
Vanderpump.
Yeah, Vanderpump
So
Rules.
she's taking over that whole hotel now. There
Oh,
it
is that right?
Yep. So Vanderpumps are now taking over the Cromwell. They just kind of come in and did a partnership with Caesars on that.
Wow.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, we actually ate there last year during Super Bowl, and the food was fantastic. It was really cool layout.
Now see this the lights right here underneath the tower. That's a great restaurant right there. I eat out here quite a bit. The beer park, which is right here. Shaq actually used to have a little bit of a partnership in the beer park. I don't know if he still does or not. That's a great place as the winter months come around. There's Mark Wahlberg's burger place right over there. Old Red is a country bar that what's his name that's married to Gwen Stefani. Blake Shelton partners in that. And then the Blonde, the place to the right of that right there is just it's called the Blonde beer. Blonde something. Anywho, but yeah, this is Vegas. I love living out here. I love doing meetings over here and having little staycays over here and getting to come seeing everybody. Now it's over. Another 30 minutes. The lights will be up and it'll be good to go.
Thanks again, brother.
Yeah, bro.
I really
Absolutely.
appreciate it, man.